Let's get into it.
School has become such a default option that deciding to not do school, you have to have like an insane justification. You have to justify it to your friends, families, your fucking Twitter community group chat, your Discord servers you're involved in, and of course your fucking parents and your siblings. Like you have to justify it to everybody. I can go to school for psychology. No one's gonna ask twice. Why? I feel like you should really explain to me what the fuck you're gonna do with that degree. No, deadass though. There's so many pointless degrees. Your art degree is not taking you nowhere.
It's just the fact that it's the default. It shouldn't be the default.
It is an option.
It should be an option.
You can't pass the bar to become a lawyer without post-secondary education.
That's another thing. I hate this part of the argument where a dumbass nigga gonna be like, oh, well, what if he's a lawyer? Like, of course, the niggas who are lawyers and doctors, of course. We're not talking about them niggas though, bro.
You have an art degree, buddy.
Yeah,
you're not even
yeah,
them.
the nigga who has an art degree, the nigga who's going for.
Yo, I knew somebody that went to Yale. I think it was like purely about like, yeah, it was like an arts degree from Yale. I don't remember what it was specifically, but like, there's certain degrees you want to get them, you won't get them. But like, you should really just save your money. They got community colleges and stuff, you know. They can teach you how to draw and all that. But they all right. Well, again, let me just shut up.
Film,
Business
the niggas want to do
administration.
business. Those niggas, y'all really do some dig deep and dog, do some soul searching.
I took
and
an
ask
entrepreneurship-
yourself, what are you doing, nigga?
I took an entrepreneurship class in my 3rd year, and I had to sit there and really think to myself, what the fuck? Why is this institution teaching me how to work on my own? That's definitely something you learn by working on your own. It was mind-blowing that I was being taught a curriculum on how to work by myself and how to build shit by myself, and it wasn't even useful lessons.
That's
And
the other thing I couldn't stand college, bro. I was in college, I ain't graduating. I knew for a fact 85% of this shit I'm being taught will never use for the rest of my life, bro. Not never a day in my life, nigga. I ain't never used a Pythagorean theorem, nigga.
You don't know the 4 P's of marketing?
I mean, they're not wrong. Like, I don't use much math, you know. But there are ways where like what you learn in school like just allow for like deeper conversations in life, you know? Like, you know, thinking about English and all the books you read, and I don't know. I feel like it's all about putting life into a perspective. I think college is more of an experience than it is of like getting your degree or like learning. All of it is about experience. It is walk with me here, right? So this is how I think of college, right? You have high school. After you graduate high school, like everything that goes on before high school, unless it's like really egregious. I mean, like you're sort of given some sort of a pass for being a child, a minor in in the world. You're still learning. So when I think of college, I think of like kind of that next step yet again, where you're in this controlled-ish environment. Granted, yeah, you're treated like an adult in the sense like, yeah, you choose if you go to class or not. You choose if you actually enroll in school or what classes you take when, and it's your money. Yeah, you're taking out the loan for it, but you got a little bit more wiggle room to make mistakes in life. You see what I'm saying? You immediately jump out into the workplace. You're on your own. You find a job. You get a job. You get a new apartment. God forbid you lose your job. Rent's due. Let's say you don't got a landlord that's trying to work with you. Now you're evicted. Let's say you don't got parents to fall back on. Now you're homeless. That was pretty fast, wasn't it? Right, now you're homeless. College, on the other hand, let's say, God forbid, it's even shit as simple as, God forbid, my laptop or my computer breaks for school, and I need this computer to do school. Take out a loan with the government, and I'll be able to get a new laptop. Granted, one's first world problems, and one's more like your life is on the line. But like that's the idea. You got 4 more years to kind of figure yourself out just a little bit more to then enter the world, the real life, efficiently.
I don't give a fuck about that, nigga.
Oh man, you gotta.
That's why you hire an accountant for that shit.
You don't
nigga.
know the
Who
4
cares?
P's of pricing?
Oh, who gives a
come
fuck,
on,
bro?
man. Come on, how you gonna
Nobody
price
does
your
not.
products?
Everything about science that I learned, nothing. I don't even know what the periodic table is pointless in my life right now, bro. I'm telling you right now.
Instead of most people thinking to themselves, like, maybe I could learn a trade that can't be replicated. Like, maybe I could be a plumber. You know, a whole bunch of dumb niggas being writers. OpenAI is already gonna take your job in 5 years because you don't know how to look ahead. But now you're fucking 100K in debt and you're fucking voting for Biden on the 5% chance he actually does what he said he was gonna do and helps you out with your student loans. Nigga's not gonna do it. He doesn't give a fuck. He just got your vote. I feel like the fact that we're sitting here asking for politicians to bail us out of these incredible student loan debts, and it's a whole bunch of niggas that didn't even use their degrees, is an issue. But for some reason, it's still the default. How is it still the default, even though it's not working for most people? And you know who the lucky people?
It's easy for it to be the default, even like from a personal perspective. My mom didn't go to college. My dad did go to college. My dad made way more money in his lifetime than my mom did. Even like personally seeing it. And my father only did 2 years of community college. You know what I'm saying? So like, even when like I've personally seen the difference, so it kind of swayed me towards college. I didn't want to go to college. But now, I mean, for me, it's you got to finish what you started. I had 3 years of school under my belt, and now I got 3 kids. You know, a little practicality wouldn't hurt. You know, I'm sick of cooking.
People are the ones that went to school not knowing what they wanted to do, and in 1 semester and 1 year dropped out. And that's actually half of people, bro. My program got cut in half in the 2nd year. First half either dropped out or failed. They couldn't make it. Boom, they was out of there. But those people actually were lucky in that, like, if it's a horrible thing to find out 3.5 years in, 50K in debt in, that this is not what you want to do. And I know a lot of people that in their 2nd year and 3rd year, they transitioned to gen ed and just took a whole bunch of the generic courses until they could figure out they wanted 6 years into school. And it's like, yo, you were wasting time, you were wasting bread, and like, more importantly, you look dumb. And I feel like the only excuse, I always say this, the only reasoning to going to school and not knowing what you want out of it is if you either have scholarships that pay for the whole thing, or your parents is rich as fuck.
Or you genuinely just don't know what you want to do in life.
No, if you don't know, figure it out before you go to school.
I say
you don't have to rush to go to school. You could take a year, 2 years.
It's been, there are studies that show that like if you take a year or 2 in between high school, like you're that much less likely to go to college. Cause like I'm not gonna say it's just the truth, but like it definitely happens. Like I feel like the perspective is that like once you get into life kind of just keeps happening. You get a job. It's not even that you get a good job. You get a job. You want to keep that job. That job is paying your bills. You want to keep finding, like, that stuff doesn't stop just because you want to go to school. And most people don't want to take on the burden of trying to juggle those things at once.
Take a year off, yeah.
Yes, you don't have to rush.
This is serious. This is me being serious.
There's not wrong with college.
My problem with school, like Agent said, it shouldn't be the default. It shouldn't be the default option. The other problem I have with schooling in general is that how quickly so many things are changing in our life right now, where a lot of that shit y'all learning will be irrelevant a few years after you graduate, bro. I can and I'm gonna date myself here for a second, but when I was in school and I was like growing up in school, like when I was like a young like a teeny bopper in elementary school, right? But we were getting taught like how to use floppy disk.
Yo, they taught us abacus and cursive.
All that stuff.
What the fuck I gotta do with cursive?
And then you'll find out, bro. I was being taught how to use a floppy disk, and that became irrelevant. Then I got taught how to burn on CDs, and that.
But the fundamentals of computers have not changed. Almost every bit of technology starts with a motherboard. None of that has changed. So while these devices inside, like floppy disk and all this other, like, now we're up to like SSDs, these little skinny things, and I get it, but that doesn't make learning about computers and digital technology obsolete just because new things are coming out. That doesn't, like, no.
That became irrelevant.
Taught you that?
Then we was running around. That was like on our computer labs. Like that would be a part of like how to actually like burn
Well, that's
information.
not that crazy. That's technology.
No, but then listen, but then
Right.
then it became
Learning how to use Python, C++.
thumb drive. So everybody's fucking walking around with the necklace with the thumb drive on attached to that shit. And then like not too long after that, that became irrelevant because everybody just uploads thing on the on Google Drive and stuff like. So then it's like all that information you just got taught is now irrelevant now. And the same thing is happening right now while we're actively doing it right now. Like you just said, like AI, bro. A lot of stuff y'all doing and saying and learning, bro. It might be irrelevant within like 5 or 7 years of you all in your career, bro.
You didn't hear? Like the OpenAI software is currently making books and they're selling them on
I
Amazon.
heard
Bro,
that, and that's
Is
crazy.
this information that I'm receiving, is it not accessible in any other platform? More or less for free? Because when y'all be going there for film or people going there for the arts or y'all going
cinematography, like
all that stuff is readily available online,
For
if
free.
not for free, but for a noticeably cheaper price than what you're getting
But just
in college. So like why would you like spending that type of money is crazy, but this is the thing that really
Well, let's also admit though, like some people do pay for the name that's associated with certain colleges. You know, sometimes names open doors. The college I went to nearby, if I speak about that school in my area, like I've gotten job interviews from it. I've gotten job offerings before, purely because I went to that school and they went to the school or they sent their son there. And so like sometimes people I think for sure are paying for the name or like maybe like your foot in the door of networking. Because not everybody's all that confident to just start going out to meet people off the blue. At least in college, there's this common factor.
really bothers me. This really bothers me because people always talk about how like, oh, people drop out and then they have no other option and oh, they look stupid. Look at the data and the information. And to be fair, the data and the info does lean heavily into if you go to college, you finish with a degree, you're much more likely to make more money, especially because a lot of companies they look to see if you have a degree or not. But I always tell people this, bro. If you gave the average person
So like it's not just that they're looking for the piece of paper. They're looking for the proof that you completed the courses that get you the piece of paper, but that you learn the fundamental skills that this company and most of the world believes is essential in doing certain jobs. It's not just because they want you to have a degree. Well, some of it is, but like not always.
person like $50,000 to invest in themselves or $80,000.
I saw a job offering for a home center for a foster care company, going in and assessing homes and making sure they're the right fit for kids. I'm sorry, I wouldn't want an 18-year-old fresh out of high school doing that. Yeah, I can train them, but like, there's things that you can learn in school, like even taking like education courses or child psych courses, understanding like where kids can be at in terms of mentally in terms of situations like that. You can learn those things, and yes, you can learn them online. Yes, for a cheaper price, but like there's a level of, I guess you could say, validity that comes with going to college. I guess that doesn't mean.
To invest in themselves, and it gave them 4 to 5 years to actually research
and work
learn,
as hard as the school makes them work.
Yes, and work them as hard as they're about to work in college. If you gave somebody who want to be a content creator and is genuinely passionate about being a content creator, and you gave them an $80,000 loan for within a 4-year time, and they spent the same amount of time that they're about to spend on college on trying to figure out content creation, bro, majority of those people would be able to figure it out, especially if they're truly passionate about it. So this idea that people
not level of education, well, not like level of education like college or whatever, but like your education level in general has always been a metric or a marker within this world as in a nation sense. So I don't see why they would give out unsubsidized low interest loans to people that want to be content creators. I don't see why they would do that. Like, just purely off the basis that it's for education, to me makes sense. Like the whole Department of Education, right? So, like, I don't even see why they would do that. So yes, that's cool that in that hypothetical, if you did the same thing, odds are. But I mean, but if that's the case, then why don't rich parents just do that for their kids? Why don't rich parents just fund 5 or 6 years to let their kid just like hone in and focus on whatever the fuck they want to do? Because they'll probably just party. Maybe there's no sense of urgency because somebody else is footing the bill for everything. I don't know. I just don't. Nice hypothetical, but I don't think it's plausible.
People fail because they don't go to college. A lot of the reason why is because niggas are not just handing out loans for them to figure out how life works, but they're handing out loans for you to just go to college. That's what's really happening. So you're not even giving
To learn. They're giving out loans for you to learn. Should it be maybe it? Should they maybe not offer as many things for you to learn? I don't know. Technically, when I get my degree, I think it's going to be a bachelor in the arts. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I don't think it was a waste of time or a waste of money. But I'm also not coming out with $100,000 in debt. So like, I'm not worried. I'm cool with debt. Debt is debt. It is what it is.
these people the same resources that you're giving the ones who are going to college. But you can go to college if you understand what you're doing. If you understand what you're doing, if you really want to commit to it, then without a doubt. But this idea that like there's these generation after generation after generation, we have to convince 18-year-olds, 18 to sign over a massive amount of loans that will amount to hundreds of thousands of dollars by the time they get out of school and trying to pay back the interest. Man, get the hell out of here, bro.
And you can't default on it.
Can't default on it, bro. None of that.
That's insane. Here's the part that got me fucked up. The biggest hoax in all of this. So when I tell people what I'm saying right now, the first thing they say is, "Well, you're a content creator. Not everyone can be a content creator." And
that's what I was thinking.
Well, you must think I'm dumb. Like I've been to school
I don't
for
think
3
you're...
years. I enjoyed my program, and my program was gonna put me in the position.
I don't think it's that anybody thinks that you're dumb. It's that not all content creators are that involved in their craft like you are. At least I personally believe that. I personally believe that certain streamers are more of the personality side, or streamers or content creators are more of the personality side of their channel, and then they just have the ability to hire people for everything else. So yeah, you had to cultivate like leadership skills. You had to have an idea of what you needed, but ultimately, you're entrusting everybody else around you to help keep the cogs turning. And it's obviously not like a bad thing because that's why these things exist. So like what? Like a social media strategist. Why need a strategist if you could just do it on your own, right? And so it's not thinking you're dumb. It's just not knowing that you don't know everything. And there's nothing wrong with that.
I wanted to be in. This YouTube shit just worked out, so this is the direction I went in. But had it not worked out, I was still moving in the direction I wanted to go in, and my degree was gonna help me get there. So it made sense for me, even though I was 30K in debt once I dropped out after 3 years, and that shit fucking hurt to pay off. So the first thing people say is, "Oh, you're a content creator." Yo, bro, when we was in uni, every week they had someone from the industry coming in. Every week they would ask the same questions, and every week the people from the industry would tell me over and over and over again, we don't value degrees nearly as much as we value experience. To the point where in my third year, I started thinking like, yo, why am I not taking these niggas' advice? So then I began to just get hella experience. I got internships in the summertime. I was volunteering at every fucking school event. I was just trying to rack up experience because everyone's telling me experience is how you do it. But I had to stack.
But where'd you get the experience from? It sounds like all of your experience came from college. Either college opened the door in terms of like an internship, or the volunteering for the school events. That's not something that is always accessible everywhere you go. Let's say you got somebody just freshly graduated, trying to get their feet together. They end up finding a job, working 40 hours. Let's say they end up working 60 hours. Good job, 60 hours a week. What if personally they don't feel like they have time to gather that experience to break into wherever it is they're trying to go? work-wise, they can't just go and do it because the job requires a degree or 5 to 6 years experience, right? So they're just stuck working. They can't afford to take a paid internship for 20 hours a week. You had that luxury being in college.
Act up fucking resume by the end of it. And now that I hire people, I also agree I could not give less a fuck what degree you have.
Facts.
So I heard it from the people that were hiring back when I was in uni. And now that I hire people, I don't care about your degree. That's not gonna be the same for every job, but for a lot of jobs, your degree's a lot less relevant than your experiences. I could care less if you fucking graduated with some cinematography degree. What's your experience on Adobe Premiere, man? Like, what's your experience producing?
I do agree that people do. I don't know how much they appreciate it more, but like there is like the whole proof is in the pudding thing. Like college is a very theoretical space, you know, working like purely on paper with things. Gathering that experience is definitely invaluable. The sooner the better.
Anything or directing anything or being a part of some team, like, yo, you have to have actual skills that's gonna be useful, and school doesn't provide you with those. And then the second thing people tell me, Marcel, is that you need a backup plan. And it's gonna be a long day before you can convince me that.
But they don't have a backup plan
it's not a backup plan to have a degree you're not gonna use.
Facts.
And put yourself in debt you can't default from. That is a fucking destructive, goddamn horrible plan B. If that's your plan B, you're basically burning the ships. You're hoping plan A fucking works. That is a god-awful fucking plan, man. I'm telling you, if you know where you want to go and school's gonna get you there, go. Until you figure it out, chill. There is no rush, but the reality is, dumb niggas sit there and push you. You see all your friends going to college because all their parents, I swear, it's like your whole life you're trained to believe this is the next step. It's not. There's many steps you can take. That's one of them. Treat it as an option, not the default, bro. And I hate when people argue with me on this because it's not even like I'm saying school is useless. I think the schools that are scams are like the Division I schools that be charging you like $50,000.
And
Like,
it's the same course, same
bro,
everything.
I'll never get over how people
Same
sit
thing.
there and celebrate the black colleges and they charge the average student $50K a year, by the way. A
that's
year.
wild,
I
too.
just can't get over it. That's fucking highway robbery. To the exact people who, by the way, are disadvantaged by the infrastructure, they're claiming that they're gonna help.
And if we really gonna get into it, then who knows what they do with that money? Because it certainly
They just
ain't
buy
going.
more facilities.
But it ain't really even going back to the school because there's been several reports.
Endowments?
Oh man.
You heard about those?
Oh, man.
Yo, these colleges got
Oh, man.
endowments like to the billions.
Y'all paying all that money, and then you look at all the other resources that you have on the campus. Fucking the gyms are still looking disgusting and nasty. The bathrooms are terrible. The dorm rooms barely got AC in them.
Look at this. Yale's endowment totals $41.4 billion. Now, what's
Tell them what endowment is before they.
an endowment is basically a huge pot of money that they invest to become more money. It's basically just a pot of money that's being used to make more money. You would think they would use the money to improve the schooling infrastructure and things of that nature, but no, they just keep this money and hoard it and make more of it. When people say it's a scam, it's because it's overpriced. In all reality, you can go to community colleges and get an education with way lower risk.
But that's the real problem is that once more, even when it comes to college, y'all don't even really present all the options. Y'all not even presenting the fact that, hey, for your first 2 years, you can go to community college. Niggas
That
laugh
is
at
true.
that as if, like it's a problem. Not like you can literally save a
mad
boatload of
money.
money because you go to community college. And you're getting the same 2 years. It's the same 2-year information that you're getting from one school to the next. In most community colleges nowadays, you can just transfer your credits to a 4-year institution. That's not even really an option to you. So now you're going to a 4-year school. You're spending twice as much money for the same accreditation from the community college. So again, the problem that I and many other people, it sounds like Adrian as well, it's not that college is a scam. It's the fact that it's being presented as if like it's the only option, and if you don't do it, you'll fail in life. But the reality is that, bro, there's so many more variables that come into like you succeeding in life. You're gonna have to still work hard. You're still gonna have to position yourself to make sure you can meet the right people. You're still gonna have to extend yourself excessively. And if most people did that to the degree in other aspects or other paths in which they are endeavors they're trying to get into, such as content creation or just such as you trying to get a trade, you would be just as successful, bro. But I'm just trying to give y'all a warning coming from somebody who went to school and didn't like. I was not a person who was really good at school. I graduated late from high school. When I went to college, I just knew instantly it wasn't it for me, and I was just doing it just because that's what you're just told to do. And realistically speaking, looking at the other options that were available, I mean, damn, like especially if you're not doing something you're not passionate about, you're just trying to maximize what you're trying to do, bro. You can be a manager at a retail store and earn $50,000 to $60,000. So I'm gonna sit here and they'll definitely favor experience more than you getting a degree. So like, why am I gonna sit here and rush to get a degree when there's an option for me to earn 50 to 60K on a year-to-year basis, which is the average earning person? Like, why would I do that? Just be cautious, bro. Be cautious. Way more cautious, bro. Especially because some of the things y'all going to school for it's about to be irrelevant.
Nah, ASAP too.
Like ASAP, like that. You gonna go into school, apply for it. By the time you graduate, that shit might be irrelevant, nigga. Like dead ass, it might be irrelevant. The whole landscape of what you're trying to learn will just like that is gonna change, bro. So yo, if you need it, you need it. If you don't, really stop and think about it before you make that type of commitment. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section.
All right, so like, I do think it's a little biased being that like, to say that college isn't worth it at all just because college didn't work for you. Naturally, because it didn't work, you're going to be looking at it in a way, well, why didn't it work besides me not being good at school? Oh, well, it costs a lot of money. Well, if you fail, I got to pay all this money back, and now I got no benefit. You're going to look at all those things versus someone that probably has no issues or worries about getting through college or is more inclined or better at school. I wasn't the greatest at school. I'm not the best test taker, but like critically and like involving in material is my thing. So like college was an opportunity to get away from the stupid ass like math and English, and I can get into deeper stuff, child psych, education, sociology, race theory, all that stuff. That stuff it's really interesting, and it does play a hand in some way, shape, or form in the way that we interact with one another in the world. So to say it's not worth it, I'm not gonna no. Even if it's even down to the person that wants to learn marketing and doesn't know where to start, I'm sorry. I think you should go to a community college, see if they have some marketing courses and take some. Or look online, find a marketing course. But okay, fair, college, but like as long as we're not saying like education itself is not worth it, because it is. Even just in terms of ingesting content and being able to form your own opinion. College can help you with that. Just by even like critically analyzing books and seeing how they refer back to things going on in the world or how it can be described about, 1984 and his ideas on how he thinks the world may end up based on whatever circumstances that are being exacted in the world. All that stuff, having a real tie to the world definitely helps. But yeah, let me know what you think. You think college is worth it? I'm cool with it. Leave your comments down below. Leave a like if you liked it, dislike if you didn't. Subscribe for more.